It's patched on stuff. Yeah.
Okay, wrapping up Content Days 2025 with Will Power back in the number 12 Verizon. Team Penske Chevrolet beginning his 21st year of association in the NTT INDYCAR Series. 3 more wins last year gives him 44 for his career, along, of course, with his record 70 pole positions and 2 INDYCAR Series championships. And welcome back. Here's 2025. And Connor Daly was in here earlier and said you had dad hair.
Yeah, I know.
What is
that's
dad hair?
like an insult. That's like kind of. I was like, really? I thought he's part of the neat and tidy dude. I thought he'd go and sort of be, he's like, you got dad hair, which means it's, yeah. I mean, what was the guy's name that you sit with I was saying, Liz was saying when I grew a beard once, I looked like Pekegan, someone.
Oh,
he was
gosh.
Family Ties. No, it wasn't Family Ties, was he? The dad wore the sort of.
On Family Ties?
Was it him? Yeah, that is like the.
No, it was.
Michael is the most daddest looking dad ever. It's like the daddest looking. Yeah. If someone says you look like that, it's kind of like, oh my God. It hasn't come to this, has it?
I'm Googling. Michael Gross.
No, it's someone Pekegan is what she said. What's his name?
Is that it?
No, it was someone else. It's like a name and wife. He had a beard. Yeah, had a beard.
The show.
Oh.
All right. Anyway, we're off the rails.
Anyway, let's just roll.
All right, 2025. What are the expectations for you, Will? Alex Keith.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Yes, the expectations. Based on the performance, second half, or really, most of the season last year were very strong. A very disappointing end, obviously, there to drop back a couple in the championship standings. Very, very determined to come back and have a strong 2025. Yeah. I think we'll have the car, engine package to do it. I think Penske's in a very good spot right now. So obviously everyone goes back and works on their stuff. Honda, I'm sure Honda's gone away and worked, but Chevy has also. Other teams, obviously Colton seemed very strong last year. So I think Andretti will be strong. I think McLaren will be strong. We've got Lundgaard there now with Pato. So it's 2 very strong guys as well. So it will be a tough year as it is. And, that's what I enjoy. I love that stuff.
And the Verizon cars got a little different look, clearly.
Yeah,
this year.
I love it, man. I love the look. It's nice and bright, and yeah, it's cool. They keep coming up with different liveries each year, and get to try something new.
You're gonna look good in Victory Lane too. So there you go.
Look very good in Victory Lane.
All right, questions in person. Bruce, lead us off.
You were ahead of the curve on the Fox Sports promotions, and that your car got unveiled on Fox's NFL Sunday.
Yeah,
and just to be able to have that type of platform, which is. Dave can probably answer this better than anybody, how many millions of people tune in to Fox NFL Sunday before the 1 p.m. kickoff game. But to have that type of exposure, how valuable was that to you? And is that when you realize, wow, these guys are really invested?
It's great to see what Fox has been doing. You look at that commercial with Joseph, the unveiling of the Verizon car. They're serious. They're advertising us, before NFL games. It's like you said, I don't know the numbers that see that, but you can tell they're serious about making our series big and doing a great job. And I think it's everything that we needed. So it's really, really happy to have Fox on board, to be on all network races, similar times. Yeah, I think it's similar place, same place, similar times, all the stuff that IndyCar has needed. And but just watching it all, it's such a difference, even from 5 years ago, but just haven't been around the series so long. It's so great to see.
Have you done your commercial yet, or do you know what the script will be like for it, or the theme?
My commercial? Am I getting one? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think I was actually going to fly out to LA and do something at some point, but they could have me. up there and sing something. So yeah, no.
Sing something.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'll be like Schwartzman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and I will get up and.
You and Flavor Flav, maybe.
Yeah, Robert.
Hey, he was the Duke's Mayo jar mascot. I tried to at the Mayo Bowl.
What's that?
Flava Flav.
I don't even know what that is. What's the Mayo Bowl?
It was the bowl game in Charlotte.
Mayo Bowl.
Mayo
Oh
Bowl.
yeah, I was like, yeah. I like that with chips.
Virginia Tech, Minnesota. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There's all these bowls I've just noticed lately. Like every bowl is funny.
Yes.
It is. To you guys, it's just
been around for a while.
Well, I know it's been around for a while, but I didn't grow up with bowls.
I got you.
Yeah, it was just like, the state of origin's on, or the football,
Right, yeah.
rugby league. You guys are, it's this chili bowl, this bowl, that bowl. A lot of bowls.
Chili Bowl's not a football game, though.
The chili bowl's what? Racing, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, I know, but it's just all sorts of bowls.
Hey,
What is the bowl, though? Like, why call it a bowl?
Started with the Rose Bowl because it was shaped like a bowl.
They-
But anyway,
They just copied something.
Scott Dixon and you are both very, performance level, competition level, still right there, top of your game. And to be able to sustain that through the ages that both of you are, just how impressive is that?
It's not just, it's not about being impressive. It's like necessary. You're certainly not sticking around if you're not doing that, so you better turn up or she's over. So that's just the way it is. But I love it. I love the competition. I love the preparation. I love finding new little details and things to be better every year. So it's kind of funny. You get to this point in your career and you're at I feel your absolute best as far as putting a whole series together, weekend together, races together. You kind of have the same speed that you had. Like, you don't really build on speed. Like, I think it's just a natural thing that you have, but the whole other package takes a long time to get, unless you're Palou. Like, some of those guys are just mature and they work that out very early. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, you're fast. Yeah, I was fast from the outset from, when you're a kid, but it's the other stuff that is hard to put together.
Just to put a bow on the pregame conversation, Fox, you're looking at 20 to 30 million people that are probably looking at that. So.
That's great.
Yeah,
right.
That's
exactly what
Nathan, go ahead.
Well, I know the off-season after the 2023 season, you were incredibly busy doing all sorts of testing, helping out with development of the hybrid. How different has this off-season that we've just nearly undergone been for you? Has it been a lot more low-key? What have you been up to since you were on the racetrack at Nashville?
Yeah, it's been nothing like last off-season, like you say. It's I think they've restricted testing too much. To just have one day before we, start racing, I think is too far. I feel like we should have at least sort of 3 days spaced out or something like that. But it's all you can do is get as fit as you can and you sort of do all the homework you can do without driving a car, really, without driving an IndyCar. There's other things you can do. Obviously, we have the simulator and so on and do work on, but. Yeah, it's hard. It's the same for everyone. It is, except for the guys that are just coming in and they probably get a little bit more testing. But it's just the way pretty much all of motorsports has headed. Save cost. Although running a simulator is also. I think if you're spending a lot of money on a sim, it'd be nice just to spend some of that on actual true track testing.
I know you announced today that you signed on with A14 management with Fernando Alonso and Oriol Servia.
Yeah.
From what I understand, it's the first time in your career that you've had someone representing you from a manager-agent perspective. Why was that important to you, and what are you excited about getting to link up with Fernando and Oriol?
Yeah, I was teammates with Oriol in 2008, and he's been a very good friend of mine for years. I have a lot of respect for Fernando. He has a lot of contacts in Europe, which if you want to get in a team that can win Le Mans or something like that, that's very handy for me. Oriole's at every IndyCar race, so he's around. But ultimately, I don't want to think about anything but driving. And I've usually done it myself, but at the end of the day, it's all about performance and enjoying driving and not thinking about the other stuff. So that's kind of why I did that.
Was it, I mean, I don't want to assume this, but I know there's been a lot of talk about what you may be doing beyond 2025. Was it specifically important to get that settled and have someone else deal with that for you as you enter, a 2025 contract year with Team Penske, which I think we all know could typically gets taken care of fairly early in the season?
Yeah, some of that, maybe I should have had a manager a long time ago. I think it's just generally now every driver has one. It's just what, drivers focus on what they do, and they have a guy, taking care of even business stuff for you, So it's many things. Yeah.
Who's up next? Yep, Blake, go ahead.
Well, Helio is going to be running the 500, and of course has a provisional for that now. Is that something you may want to do in the future, being your partnership with Penske, to maybe enter a race knowing you're guaranteed for a spot now if you'd like to?
For what?
The Daytona 500.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly open to any of those things that I haven't done. To do at some point. It's not really on my radar at present. I'm very so focused on just specifically IndyCar to be ultra competitive at that. Yeah, some of that stuff I really like to watch and would love to do.
Thank you.
Eric?
We're talking about a lot. Josef going for 3 in a row, Alex going for 3 in a row. You're also going for 3 championships. You're the only one not named Alex Palou to win a championship since 2021. And we talked in Nashville, and you thought maybe you should have been a little more conservative in areas, but you're going to go back and look at it.
Yeah.
What's your thought process now we're getting closer to the season? How do you temper that aggression? Do you try to go back to that blueprint from your last championship, or do you have to be aggressive to win this thing still?
It's that sweet spot of a balance, Definitely, when I look at some of those moves, when I think about Toronto, that was just worth sitting there. There's no question in my mind. The thing that's sort of suckered me into doing something like that was that I'd done that same move multiple times, even in that race, because people have to brake a bit early, and you kind of put them in a position where they have to lift out. But that's that sweet spot, man. If you're sitting in 5th and Palou's behind you at that point, you should be sitting there. That was a mistake, and they're the things that you've got to weigh up. It's just walking that tightrope perfectly. I think if you're too conservative in this current field, you won't get the performance you need to get the points. The field is too stacked. There'll be too many people filling those gaps where you've just sort of let off a little bit. So it's become harder to put that together. But I would say for our speed in the second half or the last quarter of the season, we had the potential to win like 3 more races or something. It just didn't happen. And and I would say Palou didn't have the outright speed and performance from the that those guys were sort of a little bit on the back foot, and it was sort of there for us as a team for the taking. We didn't do it, and the team provided everything we needed to do that, and it didn't happen. So certainly reflecting on that stuff.
And last year's also the first year you haven't won a pole. You won a couple years ago. You didn't get a win, then you stormed back and got a few wins. How important is it to? I know it's just a pole, but that's an extra championship point. Just how important is it to get back to winning poles this coming season?
Well, I think you're putting yourself in a great position if you get poles. You qualify, even just qualifying the top 6. You're putting yourself in a really good position. I wasn't heavily focused on that. I really wasn't. In some respects, I didn't want to get poles on ovals So I think it kind of, in some ways, hurts you a little bit at times. Just being out front in nice, clean air, car feels great. Then you get put back and it takes you another sort of stint to get your head around a car in dirty air. So there's, some good and bad in that. But for sure on road courses, qualifying at the very front is a big deal, which I was sort of getting more top sixes than 23. But yeah, it's hard to get poles these days. It really is. No one's like pumping out multi-poles in a year anymore. It's very difficult. Yeah, not a big very race focused. I have been more recently. But yeah, you can't, like I said, you can say all these things, but you cannot leave anything on the table in this series anymore. There's no place where you can go, well, be a bit conservative here. Those positions will be filled anytime you are, I feel like.
Let's go Steve and then Danny after that. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Will. I know you mentioned doing Le Mans at some point.
Yeah.
But, your IndyCar performance was still really good.
Yes.
What is the timeline for you? Do you want to keep doing IndyCar as long as you can, or?
I think I could be absolutely competitive for another 5 years if I wanted.
Is that the goal then, to keep doing IndyCar?
Well, it's absolutely the goal, to definitely keep rolling while I'm really competitive. I was very competitive last year. I mean, I won 3 races and 7 podiums. It's not, no one else in the field but McLaughlin did that. So I'm still performing really high. And yeah, if I wasn't performing, I wouldn't want to do it. I'm still learning. It's crazy, but you're still learning stuff.
Thank you.
Danny.
Your longevity as a driver speaks for itself, the tremendous success you have and continue to have. I can't remember a time, though, when you weren't driving for Verizon, the relationship. Can you just talk about what that's been like for you individually, not just for Team Penske, and, how proud you must be of that?
Yeah, it's, I feel like I've been very fortunate in that respect to have kept Verizon as a sponsor for, I think we're 16 years now. It's hard to do that in this sport, and there's been a couple of different CEOs in that time. I've ended up having good relationships with all of them, and sort of keeping them engaged in racing. And it's I think a lot of that is the team that I drive for. Roger is class act, obviously, and an organisation that a sponsor like that would want to be associated with. So I'm all front. I mean, when I look at it, it's just, for me, signing with Penske full-time in 2010 or getting my foot in the door in 2009 was such a pivotal moment in my career. It just set me up to be able to have these performances and keep a sponsor like Verizon for that long. So, it's certainly reflective of how fortunate I am to be in a situation of driving for a team that will give you a car that can win week in, week out, and keeping that sponsor for that long. Pretty cool. I can't be more thankful, to Roger for giving me the chance he's given me over the years.
We've got time for 2 off of Zoom. David Marshall Lopez, stand by. Let's begin with Jack Binion from the Race. Hi, Jack.
Hey, Will. Hi, Dave. Will, it sounds like you're really passionate about Le Mans. Has that been a key reason for the management change and for looking over there? It sounds like you're super keen to get over there and try and win that race.
I would love to have a shot at winning that race. I've won the Indy 500, and when I think about those sort of opportunities, someone like Fernando Alonso certainly has a lot of good contacts in Europe. So it's a very cool event that I haven't been able to do yet. So it's definitely on the radar.
I know you said you're keen to continue in IndyCar for 5 or so years. Are you happy at Team Penske, and is that where you would like to do that? From the outside, it's hard to imagine you driving for another team, but I guess I'm kind of interested in what your hopes are and how you hope that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been very lucky to drive for a team like Penske. Isn't a better team in the series. Right now, the performance and the cruise you're given, everything. So yeah, that's ultimately the goal.
Thanks, Will. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Jack. We will wrap things up with David Malcher-Lopez. Go ahead, David.
Hi there. Wanted to ask, have you been a bit kind of like annoyed by the rumors that David Malukas is just standing by ready to take over your seat in 2026 or 2027?
Yeah, no, I keep getting told that. So by various people. Yeah. I honestly, I haven't been told anything by the team on, from that side of things. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure there might be some truth to that, I suppose. I mean, if it's out there, and but I do hear that, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's one of those things, huh? Just get someone knocking at the door.
Yeah. When do you feel you need to make your decision by, in terms of when you order your two new attack dogs, Alonso and Serbia, to go after something else?
Yeah. That's not. I don't talk about contract terms and all that. Those guys will do what's best for me at the time, and that they're able to. They both have very good contacts and so on. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, but as a multi-time winner and two-time champion, I mean, presumably you think it's your right to call the shots as to when you wish to end your career, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I understand your question, that's it. It isn't my choice, obviously, because I don't own the team. It always becomes complicated. Obviously, a lot of things that play into that. But at the end of the day, if you're winning races and you're very strong, that's the best defense you have against any of that stuff. Like, if you can just give it. Honestly, the way I performed last year is, if you did the same this year, winning 3 races in the season in IndyCar now is very, very difficult. So, the champion only won 2, I believe.
Correct.
So, that's difficult to do. And if you're doing that, you probably should be driving in that series. You deserve a seat.
And Verizon must have been pretty pleased with their results with you over the last however many years, 15.
Yeah, I've had some. Won a 500, a couple of championships, a lot of races, a lot of poles. So it's kept those guys on board, and I think companies like that want winners. And obviously being associated with Roger Penske as well, and that organization is a big part of it too.